And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes. I'm not Ranger Ludes today, but I am Geek Squad Ludes. You need some assistance with any of your hardware, specifically trying to get these cards in NBA 2K22. My team, your boy's got it. I wish I had an exclusive, like an official. I guess it's kind of exclusive, but like not really. I could probably buy one on eBay realistically if I wanted a Geek Squad shirt. I don't. I have a blue polo. That's close enough. I actually look like I'm just going to private school, but it is what it is. Now, the new Return of Heroes Spotlight Sims for Joel Embiid. They are interesting. Let's go over it. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time. Let's just go over it here. So first, we'll start with the Eastern Conference one. Winning every single one of these games will get you RJ Barrett, which is unfortunate that they chose RJ Barrett and Brandon Ingram as the two that I need to grind an absurd amount of time for, being that these are the two cards that I actually wanted the most, which is typical. I feel like they just did this specifically to spite me. Maybe I might be incorrect about that. You can hear it in my voice based solely on how little I would like to talk about this. So we'll start with the Eastern Conference stuff. All right, so you got to win all these on all-star difficulty. Win the game against the Hornets and prevent the other team from scoring more than 60 points. Now, this shouldn't be that hard, but you do have to use 10 Charlotte Hornets players, which this is going to cause a ridiculous amount of increase on some of these guys, but you know, it is what it is. Then we got the Pacers, got to use 10 of each team, by the way, which for people who have collected cards, this is going to be cool because this at least gives me an excuse to use some of the cards that I've collected over the course of the game. But I think a majority of these, if not all of them, are do not allow. Yeah, all of them are this, I think, which it shouldn't be that difficult. All-star difficulty is kind of rough, but at the same time, like the other team, I honestly feel like it might actually be harder to keep the other team from scoring 60 more in like pro difficulty, because on pro difficulty they straight do not miss. At least on all-star they might miss occasionally. So these aren't really all that hard, they're just more time consuming, which these are probably two of the ones that I'm going to end up doing because I do want Brandon Ingram and RJ Barrett pretty bad, which is unfortunate. Then we got the Return of Heroes challenges. Now, let me check the Western Conference because I think it might be the same. Yeah, it's pretty much just stop the other teams from scoring 60, which, like I said, shouldn't be that hard, and it should be relatively cool to do because, like I said, I just haven't had a chance to use. So, I mean, yeah, you're going to want to take advantage of these 3 bench slots down here for 3 of the players, especially if you don't have, like, a robust lineup here. So, like, in this case, I'm going to do Charles Brown Jr., shout out to him. I don't know anything about him. He's probably a cool guy. Isaiah Joe, and let's hypothetically say we're doing the 76ers team. And then Jaden Springer, sure, but let me do the hollow one because I'm a classy boy at heart. And then you're going to want to fill the rest of the squad with 76ers players. Now, my recommendation would be whatever is going to be your weakest position for each team, that's where you're going to want to throw your, other guys that aren't with the squad, right? So in this case, I have Bobby Jones, I have Markelle Fultz, I have Julius Erving. So obviously we're going to use Markelle for sure. And then we're going to use Bobby. Bobby's definitely hitting the starting lineup 100%, right? Because Bobby's my boy. All right, so we're good. We're going to use him, Julius Erving. I'm going to use a point guard from the Sixers because I have Maxey and I have Markelle Fultz, so Markelle can get in the starting lineup for sure. Julius Erving could probably play the starting lineup also. So Maxey will hit the bench over here, right? No biggie. The Sixers are a good team because they actually are kind of a trash team for the majority of players, right? So, I mean, right off the bat, I have Maxey and Thibault and Julius Erving that I could run off the bench. Or not off the bench, but I can run Markelle, Julius, and Bobby Jones in the starting lineup. So 2 of my spots right here I could use on, honestly, Nate Thurmond will honestly play. So let's just say Nate Thurmond and Kristaps, right? This is a good starting lineup that I could get away with using. This allows me to only have to use 2 76ers off the bench, which would be probably Iguodala and Joel Embiid because he sets effective screens, right? Those would be the 2 guys that I most likely would be using in this capacity. And this allows me to use whatever I want in regards to either another small forward, moving Bobby Jones to the bench, or a power forward. So hypothetically speaking, I could run, probably would run T-Mac, to be honest. Like, I would probably run Bobby Jones off the bench or Thurmond off the bench and then run T-Mac. See, this allows me to have 10 76ers players, and this is what I would recommend doing for every single of these squads if you plan on doing them. which I'm sure a vast majority of you are at least going to attempt it and then halfway through decide that it's not worth it because they're going to release better cards literally tomorrow, guaranteed. Then we got the return of Heroes Challenger Trials. Now, these are going to be different. These are going to be more, tailored to more of a gauntlet style, let's say. So we got Russell Westbrook, who is the exact same in every conceivable way as the Dark Matter All-Star Russell Westbrook. So win the game by at least 20 points. It's relatively easy, so you don't have to worry too hard about that. Like, that one's going to be easy. Then we got Patrick Ewing, essentially the exact same as the Dark Matter Patrick Ewing. Make 15 shots from the post as a team. Now, it's not going to be the hardest thing in the world, but knowing 2K, sometimes they don't exactly count things in the way that you would expect, right? Majority of the card collection modes are like that. MLB The Show, for instance, is a very good example of this, because when it says to get total bases, it doesn't count walks for some reason, which maybe that's just a baseball thing that I'm not aware of, but I could easily see, just try to score as much in the post as you possibly can, because 2K inevitably is going to take at least 2 to 3 of your shots and not count them as post shots. That's just my assumption. Then we got Steve Nash. Steve Nash is okay. I mean, he's all right. You can only use original owner cards. Once again, not that hard, but it is an all-star difficulty, which is annoying. This is the one, though. 100. Score 100 points with any player for Tyrese Halliburton. Now, in theory, with 8-minute quarters, this doesn't seem that hard. Also, remember that 2K has a very nasty injury problem, right? It doesn't matter. If it's frustrating, right? And the reason I say that is because it doesn't matter what you're doing. I mean, there's a vast majority of players that play this game that still haven't done the Kobe challenges, because you have to score 81 points to get that, I think it's Hoff Volume Shooter badge. Yeah, I believe I did it so long ago, I can't remember. And they haven't even done it because every time they go to attempt it, Kobe, whatever Kobe they're using, inevitably just gets hurt, right? So whatever card you're using, it doesn't matter if you're attacking the rim, it doesn't matter if you're shooting jump shots, there is a likelihood that they are going to get hurt. I mean, I just had this happen with Jaylen Brown. I've been trying to get this 41-point Jaylen Brown challenge done, and he just continuously gets hurt. So this is going to be the most frustrating and most time-consuming one, right? And it's going to be coming down to dumb luck if you complete it or not, because you could just be shooting a regular wide-open 3 and your dude will just get hurt for no reason. So it's going to be frustrating, and Halliburton doesn't really look that cool, but his card art is sick. I like how he's a little tornado. That's cool. DeJounte Murray, no threes. Win the game without letting the other team make a three-pointer on all-star difficulty. Now, look, you could go and you could set your defensive settings completely correctly. My recommendation, you are playing against the Golden State Warriors, by the way, with Opal, Clay, and Steph. So I mean, just try not to allow a 3 to even get off. Just let them have 2s all day if you can. But once again, it's going to come down to pure dumb luck if you complete this one or not. Seriously. Like, you could play the best defense in the world, it'll still be hard. Then we got Bam Adebayo, who looks relatively good. Win the game using only point guards and record at least 1 block. And it's a triple threat, so that's not actually going to be that difficult. Especially if you have like a Magic Johnson or another oversized point guard, it's not going to be all too difficult. Now, looking at the point guards that I have, they have to be primary position point guard, by the way. Just something to understand. So I'll probably be using like Oscar Robertson. Who else? DeMar DeRozan, he can get blocks. He is a little bit on the larger side. Magic is good, obviously, if you have him. Let's see. Who else is a bigger point guard that you could use? Yeah, I got a lot of small point guards here. I feel like there's somebody that I'm forgetting about that's a massive point guard. Who is it? Shumpert actually will block the ball at a pretty high clip, so he's someone that I would recommend using. You can get him for like 2,000 MT, by the way. I'll probably end up using Shumpert and a Big O. Bonga's good. Bonga will work. Kukoc is 6'10", so Kukoc is going to work. There's another guy. Wait, hold on. What's it? Is it Sabonis? Yeah, Sabonis is almost a guarantee for this challenge. You need him. You'll get a block if you have Sabonis, no question. All right, next up, we got Iverson, who it's like they can't have a Spotlight Sim without giving us Iverson. I'm just convinced of this fact. Win the game without recording an assist. You're just going to have to play ISO ball all day. That's it. That one's actually relatively easy. Chris Paul, I like how out of the 6 dark matters, like 4 of them, darks matters. 4 of them were undersized point guards. And when I say undersized point guards, I don't mean 6'3", 6'4". I mean literally 6 foot. Very disappointing. Win the game without turning the ball over. Once again, you're just gonna have to play ISO ball and just hope for the best. Like that's all you're gonna have to do. If you're on next gen, by the way, you could do the next gen glitch thing where you just score a couple points. You only have to play like 1 minute of each quarter, and then you can just run the clock out on the other 4. Then we got Chris Money Mullen, win the game while attempting only 7 shots as a team. So that's going to be tough. You basically have to go 7 for 7. And that's going to also come down to dumb luck, being that you're on all-star difficulty. It's going to be significantly easier to do on next gen than current gen, in my opinion. You're just going to have to shoot screen 3. So my recommendation, use somebody who sets really effective screens and somebody that you're very green with at the point guard that has a 99 3-point rating, and you should be good. No fouls allowed. You just have to win this game without allowing a foul, without committing a foul the entire game. And when I say allowing, I mean the CPU is going to be your biggest weakness. Chances are you're going to go like 2 quarters and then the CPU is just going to commit a random foul. My recommendation, contest no shots. Just no shots contested whatsoever, and just hope for the best. Dunks only. Win the game and make at least 11 dunks as a team. Now that's going to be pretty tough, but once again, it's going to be tough though. I mean, you're going to fail this challenge a few times because on all-star difficulty, they are going to contest it and make it just turn into a layup for no reason. It's about to be really annoying, but it's very doable. And then the My Team Heroes Showdown. Now this one. Win this game. It's Hall of Fame difficulty. You may only use up to Sapphires in your lineup to get Manute Bull. That's going to be tough, but don't worry. I am here. I got you. So as far as the team that you need to be using in this regard, it's going to be very dependent on who you have available. Now, here's the team that I would use personally, right? The Thanasis for sure. Who would be my small forward? DeAndre Hunter. As far as power forwards go, I would probably use Robert Covington. And as far as centers go, my centers would be Ilgauskas because he does set effective screens and he's huge. And honestly, Gold Shaq Diesel if you do have him. Straight up. Off the bench, I would probably use... Honestly, I'd probably use Ty Lue. I would probably use Ty Lue and then Lonzo Ball at the shooting guard. And then as far as the small forward, power forward, I would run Dorian Finney-Smith and probably Eric Pascal, honestly. Or Patrick Williams. Honestly, Patrick Williams can hold it down. I'd probably do Dorian and Patrick Williams. And then Ilgauskas at center. And then you're definitely going to want to throw some other guys in here too. Other guys you could use, Jakar Sampson is obviously good. Bobby Portis is good. Grant Williams. Grant Williams is fantastic. If you have Antoine Walker, he's good. There's a lot of guys that you can use. It's just a matter of like, can you get it done? Like this would be the squad that I would probably roll up with personally. Maybe instead of Antoine Walker, I would use or put in my 13th man spot, probably like Sagoon, just because he's got a good jump shot and he can hold it down a little bit. So this is kind of the squad I would use for that, though it will be like a pain in the ass for sure. It's not going to be a fun time. I can say that with the utmost certainty. Now, after all that, you would think that you get it, but things have taken a turn. I believe after all that, you get it, but there is a lot of XP to do as well, which, gets you a... After all this, what they give you as a reward, I mean, yeah, you get Invincible Embiid, yes, but you get a diamond shoe pack, which I feel like is just a big slap in the face. I hate that. It couldn't even be like a promo pack. It couldn't be anything. Oh, dear God. Oh, that's so frustrating. Speaking of promo packs, we got the promo super pack. These are in no way, shape, or form worth opening. Yeah, there's invincible cards in here. Yeah, there's a lot of dark matters and stuff, but the reality of the situation is you won't pull an invincible card. Chances are if you're going to pull a dark matter, it'll be like Joe Johnson or like Blake Griffin, or even worse, like All-Star Kobe or All-Star T-Mac or like regular Kareem. You're just not going to pull anything worth your time, so you should avoid opening these if all possible. That's my assumption. I mean, the odds aren't terrible, but it's still only a 4% chance for a dark matter, and that 4% is rough when you factor in how many, not unusable dark matters there are, but dark matters that you don't want. Like, you don't want Baron Davis. You don't want Power Within Steph, because Hero Steph is way cheaper. Bracket Buster stuff too included in that. You don't want Zach LaVine, let's be real. You certainly do not want Russell Westbrook, which means he's going to drop heavier than anyone at this point. You don't want Jalen Green, he's like 50K. You know, yeah, obviously you want the rest of these guys. You don't want Hito, he's like 50K. You don't want T-Mac. None of these guys you want. So I would just avoid opening these packs at all, to be completely honest with you. As always, it's been your boy Cheap Ludes. Let me know what you think of the challenges down in the comments below. I will be back with more content later. Peace.